So I'm growing my hair, as you might be able to tell. So I'm growing it long. Calling it long. Not all the way down my back, just longer than it is now. So I've been growing it. It's nice. Nice and soft. And I'm full of a cold. So I've done hardly anything today. Which is not like this body. This body is normally wanting to do stuff. This body is normally looking for the next thing to do. What can I do? Where can I go? What can I do? But today, it's not wanting to do anything. It's just sat and been with this cold. There is no problem. There is never any problem unless you make it into one because of the thoughts in your head, because of your ego, because of your conditioned mind. The body and mind are in a world of their own. The thing that sees it, that can't get poorly, that can't live in fear, can't be sick. The thing that detaches from the body after death, the awareness, the witnesser, consciousness, there's no sickness in that. I am that I am. It becomes an everyday experience. It becomes an every moment experience. It becomes who you are. Because this is who you are. The body and mind is not who you are. The body and mind is conditioned to this world. The body and mind is just a collection of stories, programming, conditioning, what mummy told you, what daddy told you, what you've heard about yourself. How would you ever know what anxiety or depression or anything like that is unless somebody had told you that story? If nobody had ever told you that story, then how would you ever know that that's what it is? How would you ever know that that's anxiety or depression? If somebody hadn't fed you their own conditioned mind. You wouldn't know. If you come into contact with somebody that is aware that they're not the conditioned mind, that is aware, they've come into pure loving awareness, they've come to realise that everything is seen, that they're not making up a story in the moment from other people's conditioning, from what mummy told you, what daddy told you, what your doctors have told you, what religion has told you, what politicians have told you. It's all just conditioning. It's all just programming, filtered down into entities. So beings are walking about being veiled by the mind. Beingness, the awareness, the witnesser, has been taken over by the ego in the majority of people walking on this planet. Been taken over by a story in the mind, the conditioned mind. You're only ever dealing with somebody's conditioned mind. I could stand and wave at 10 people. I could stand and wave at and smile at 10 people. I'd do exactly the same thing. Smile and wave, smile and wave. Every one of them entities, every one of them conditioned minds is going to have a different reaction to me smiling and waving. And I've done this as an experiment. Go and check on one of my videos. I've done this as an experiment outside. I've stood and waved. And everybody had a different reaction. One person stuck V's up at me. One person was shaking their head to somebody smiling and waving at the side of the road. Somebody beat the horn. Somebody give me a thumbs up. Every one of them entities had a different reaction because of what is going on in their mind in that moment. You're only ever dealing with somebody's conditioned mind. You are only ever dealing with a poisoned human being. And I don't mean that in a derogatory or in a negative way. I mean it genuinely. That humans have been poisoned by the body and mind. believing that that's who they are. Unaware that the thing that has always been present, the thing that watches, the thing that's been aware, never changes. I can sit here and this body can be sick. This mind can conjure up a story about being sick. They can do what they want. But ultimately, I am fully aware that the awareness, the witness of the consciousness can never be sick. If this body would, if the awareness and the witnesser was to separate from the body now in this moment, if I was to die, this body and mind was to die in this moment, the awareness, the witness of the consciousness, the soul, would separate from the body. There's nothing in that. There's no sickness in that. There's no fear in that. That is the ultimate. The I am, the awareness, is the ultimate. Is God. Is love. Because in that awareness, without a story playing out in the mind, there can only ever be love in every moment. Because the only thing that isn't loving is the ego. The only thing that will divide is the story in your head. The only thing that will separate is the conditioned mind. The only thing that has fear, worry, anxiety, depression is the conditioned mind, is the ego. Now, this isn't so for some people wake up to truth like that. Some people have got to go on this journey. Some people have got to live in the dark. Got to live in negativity. That negativity, that darkness has got to come into that entity's lifetime. I've been around such dark people. Continuously. Dark entities. I'm like, what is going on here? Why are people being so mean? Why are people being so standoffish to kindness, to love? That had to happen. That had to happen for me to wake up. It was always my soul's intention to wake up in this body. Them negative people, them negative entities can be your catalyst to polarize into love and light. And then there comes a point where that is all you want. All you want is love. All you'll put out is love. And then it doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. Because everybody's living from the conditioned mind anyway. People are running about, not a fucking clue that they're listening to something that isn't real. That them thoughts in your head can never be you. Check this out. You could have an opinion of you, a thought about me, because of what you've seen in the past. Somebody else's conditioned mind has told you a story about who I am. You could be walking down the street and have that thought, he's a dickhead, about me, about me being Sam. He's a dickhead, blah, 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 blah. And then you come into contact with me. No. And in that moment, your opinion, your view would shift in a heartbeat, in the click of a finger. It doesn't matter if it shifts to more negative. It's still shifted, hasn't it? If it shifts to positive, it's still that thought that you have been having maybe for years, maybe for decades, maybe the whole of your life, could change in a heartbeat, in the click of a finger. So what are you listening to? If them thoughts come and go, if them thoughts change so rapidly, then what are you listening to? You're listening to something that just appears, something that comes and goes. This body appears and comes and goes. This mind appears and comes and goes. Everything appears and comes and goes. Everything is seen. By what? By awareness. By the witnesser. By consciousness. People think the thoughts in the head are the most stable thing about them. They're the most unstable thing. People live the whole life believing the story playing out in the mind, believing the conditioned mind, when none of it ever has been and never can be real. If they change so quickly, then what are you listening to? From the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed, you're listening to, Buddhists say, it's like thoughts are like clouds. But then people just tend to leave it there and they don't really go down the rabbit hole of, so what does that actually mean? Thoughts are exactly like that. There's no substance to them. When you go through a cloud in a plane, you just go straight through, don't you? Let's go and check my lentils. I don't want these to burn. Alright. Thoughts are exactly like that. There's no weight to them. There's no substance to them. There's nothing there. It's just... It's just nothingness. That's the best way I can describe it. There is nothing there. It's just a process that is happening in the body. Just like your heart beats and your lungs breathe, your mind will generate thoughts until there comes a time where the thoughts, the ego, the mind, all the same thing, the conditioning will just dissolve away. It'll dissolve away into nothing. And then you're left in pure loving awareness. Going back to how I started this video. If you were told a story about anxiety, about depression, you're going to believe that story. Your ego's going to believe it. You could go up to your mum or your friend or wherever it might be, and you say, I've got a racing heart, got an headache, I'm going into situations and my heart's racing and I feel a bit dittery when I go into X, Y and Z. And if that person, if that other entity says to you, that's anxiety. Oh, that is I had anxiety. I still have anxiety now. That is, it sounds like you're riddled with it to me. It's bad, isn't it? Oh, it's really bad. It's probably the worst experience you can have, that. When you go into a situation, oh my God, you're riddled with that. That is really, really bad. How are you going to fucking feel? You're going to feel even worse, aren't you? This entity says to you, do you know what will sort that? Go to your doctors and they'll put you on medication. I'll come with you if you want. So then, a week later, you trot off to the doctors, sit in front of a doctor, you tell your doctor this story, your mate's chipping in, or your mum or whoever's chipping in, telling them, fucking hell, yeah, she's absolutely riddled with it. It's awful, awful, awful. Doctor says, doctor drip feeds a little more negativity into that entity. Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, it's bad, isn't it? Oh, I understand. Oh, no, I understand. I had that. Yeah, I understand. I tell you what can help that. Some medication will help that. So we're going to put you on this 2 times a week. Bad about it, whatever they say to you. You come out, you start on this medication, and it fucking zonks you out. And you could be on that medication for the rest of your lifetime. A medication that is being pumped into your body that I'm telling you that you do not need. You come up to me and you say, you tell me exactly the same story. I've got a racing heart. When I go into a situation, I feel like bad. Let's go for a run. I have that heart racing and stuff like that. It's fucking fantastic feeling. Best feeling you'll ever have. Superb. Let's go for a run. Let's go for a walk. Let's do something. Let's go and exercise together. I'm telling you, it's fucking great. When you feel like this, the best thing you can do is go and do some exercise. Come on, let's go. Off we go. We start walking and we have a little jog. You come back, fucking fantastic. I feel great. Superb. that entity hasn't been conditioned, hasn't been programmed into the negative. That entity has been programmed and conditioned into positivity, into love and light. You haven't gone there. You haven't come into that moment with a story, with your own conditioned mind, with the ego, because the ego is negative. The default mode for the ego is negativity. So if you come into contact with, which is the majority of people on this planet at the moment, you come into contact with another entity, it's going to be negative. You're going to get drip fed a load of bullshit about anxiety, depression, fear, worry, whatever it might be. None of that is real. That all lives in the ego. That is the ego's game. The ego loves fear. The ego loves worry. The ego loves all that shit. But the ego is the false self. The ego is just conditioning. The ego is just other people's stories that has been filtered down into that entity. So that entity will believe the whole of its lifetime that it's suffering from this, it's suffering from that, it's suffering from the other. The only way to end your suffering is to detach from them thoughts. It's to detach from the conditioned mind. Let go of the ego. In every moment, choose love. In every moment, see love. When love is all you want, love is all you will see. And then the ego's number is up. Because the ego, fear, and awareness, love, cannot coexist. If you're in loving relationship in every moment, through awareness and no story in the mind, there's no ego there. There is no story there. There is no conditioned mind there. So then you fall back into loving awareness, into the witnesser, into pure God consciousness. That is God. Because God is the ultimate, and the ultimate is awareness behind the story. So beings have been conditioned over and over, been drip fed the story about anxiety, the story about whatever it might be. If that's coming from if that story is coming from another ego, coming from another conditioned mind, it is going to be negative. So beings are walking about in that state of negativity because they're listening to the false self. They're just listening to other people's stories and believing that that's who they are. If somebody's mean to you, somebody's negative to you, forgive them, Father, because they know not what they do. They don't know that they've been veiled by the mind. That human doesn't know it's been poisoned by personhood, believing the stories. In the emptiness of thought is not just who you are, it's universal. It's who everybody is. Go and find that place. Go and sit in that place. And feel unconditional love for everyone and everything in every moment. Without a story playing out in the mind. I hope everybody has a fantastic evening. When love is all you want, love is all you'll see. Namaste.